G'day viewers, Sep here. What I thought we'd do today is give you a look at our tow vehicle that we tow our caravan with and the airbag coil spring helpers that we've had fitted to it and how to operate them. The vehicle is a 2018 model Isuzu MUX. It's a 3 litre diesel engine. There's a couple of things I'll show you before we get to the airbags. And the way we have our plugs at the back wired up is we have them running through 2 relays. So when the ignition's off, everything to those plugs at the back's off, except for our electronic stability control. We don't run a second battery, just the main battery here, everything runs off that, and there's no second battery in the back of the car. Everything's wired back to straight to the plugs, and then the van plugs into that. There's no DC to DC charger. A couple of things we thought about but didn't fit: a bull bar and driving lights. We didn't think they were necessary, either of those two. We never travel or tend to travel at night time, and the lights on these vehicles are very good anyway. The other thing was bull bars. They say they're factory fitted, those particular ones, they're crash tested, but I just sort of really wonder how they do affect the airbags, so we didn't go with bull bars. We've done 15,000 Ks all up around north and didn't have any issues. We also have a set of AT tyres. What they are is their general grabber AT3, and they work really well. Still plenty of tread on the tyres, and they've done pretty much, from memory, about 50,000 Ks. We also have the Safety Dave reverse camera fitted up on the back of the Caravan. So those of you that haven't seen what the screen looks like, I'll give you a bit of an idea what the screen size is compared to the dash. It all works pretty well. This one is wide, so when you drive forward you can see behind the Caravan. It also has sound, so you can hear what's behind you as well. So for example, when you're reversing up at the Caravan park and somebody's giving you some directions. The other thing we have in the car is a dash cam, just in case. You never know what happens down the track, so just a bit of insurance there. And this fitting here is our camera fitting, Safety Dave camera at the back of the van. The 12-pin plug, that also feeds the fridge. So you've got your lights, the back of your van, and 2 of these big plugs will feed power to the fridge only when you're driving. Other than that, when I turn the car off, that completely goes off, shuts off. The charge of the Caravan shuts off. This stays live, electronic stability control, but it doesn't draw any power. It's only got a little light if you leave it plugged into your van. Because of the height of the van, I have to run a reverse hitch with the DO35 pin. And that gives me the correct height off the ground for the van to pretty much run level. And of course these 2 plugs here are for the airbags, which we'll go underneath and have a bit of a look at. The airbags are required to have a minimum of 5 PSI in them, and they can go to a maximum of 60. And the way I inflate them is I use one of these inflators from Bunnings. It's just the 18-volt one. Takes the same batteries as fits in your drills and etc. And you just snap that on the end, and it pumps up really quick. Has the pressure reading on the back, but I also use another device just to make sure, which is one of these things to check the pressure. There they are there inside the coil. These are the high pressure ones. You've got a Kevlar sleeve on the outside of the bag. And they're really designed just to help the spring carry the weight. They're not really designed to lift the car up higher than its standard height, which I'll show you that shortly when we go back on the outside. The reason why we fitted them was really just to take the waviness, I suppose, out of the ride when we're towing the Caravan. The Isuzu's got very good suspension and gives you a really good ride, and it's probably pretty soft in the back, so these have really helped the ride. It takes that waviness out, that motion, I suppose. really not, we've really not fitted them just to lift the rear end up. It's just really to level it, the rear end a bit. Helps with that, but more so give you a better ride. When you get the airbags fitted, they also put this warning sign on the side of your car door, and you can scan that QR code and you put that model number in, and that comes up with the instructions on how to operate the airbags. Okay, so the way that you use these airbags is you have to measure your height between your middle of your wheel, centre of your wheel, up to the underside of your wheel arch, which in this case is 540mm. So the way they work is the airbags at the moment are sitting there with 6 psi in them, minimum of 5. We know this is 540mm, this distance here. So you can't inflate your airbags to give you a greater height than that 540mm. So the idea is you put your caravan or your trailer on the back of the tow bar, and then this will sag down. So let's just assume that sags down 20mm. So let's just assume that's now 520. So the way the airbags work is you can pump them up to increase that height back to 540. You can't go any higher, but you can't exceed 60 psi in the high pressure airbags. So if you pump it up and you put 60 psi in those bags and it's not at 540, you can't go any further than that for a start. It's 60 psi is your maximum. The idea of the airbags is they're just helpers for your springs. They're not designed to take the full load of the car on the airbags. They're just helpers. So that's how they work. And of course, always make sure you read the instructions before you use them. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Take it easy and see you on the next one.